Welcome back, friends. The BGE team has the honor to interview one of the best additions to Warrior Nun in season 2. Please welcome Meena Rayann. We're very excited to talk to you today.
Thank you. I'm super excited too. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
This is like our absolute pleasure. And we
Yes.
actually had some help with questions from fans on Twitter. So these are a mix between our questions and some things that fans wanted to know as a collective. So we got so many of the same questions, we were like, let's just smush them together.
Good.
Okay. So first and foremost, do you have a backstory for Yasmine?
I do. I did work on it. I cannot guarantee that it is the actual 100% backstory. So that's the one that I created. I have had some confirmation from Simon when we were working because I was like, hey, who is she? But yeah, she grew up in that Coptic order in Egypt, having one mission. It's been like the one mission of her life, technically it was protecting the crown of thorns, but since it disappeared, it was retrieving it, and so finding out everything she could and everything they could to retrieve it. And she's a very bright person. But because of that one mission, she's not exactly she didn't get, let's say, socialized much. So she didn't grow up around a lot of friends and everything. And she's not a loner at all. I think she actually longs for friendships and company and all of that, but she has been so focused and it's been so ingrained in her that this is the utmost, like the mission of the utmost importance that she has to follow, that she doesn't really have the time for friendships and socializing and all of that. And so she's very bright. She's been going to a ton of universities from a very young age. So she hasn't just studied journalism, but we also thought she studied history, probably like at Cambridge or Oxford, like one of those big ones. Hence the British accent from a very young age, like an abnormally young age, going to university. And then going from place to place, trying to follow whatever rumors she heard about the crown or wherever she could go to gather more information. So yeah, that's pretty much her backstory. And she's completely obsessed with the order, the OCS, not the Coptic order, obviously, the OCS. And she's grown up hearing about those incredible feats, and really knowing that they are true. I mean, for her, it's absolutely true. It's not, it's not just a leap of faith kind of thing. It's reality. And so when she actually encounters them, when she actually like meets them, it's just like, kind of, I would say a kid meeting Santa. For real.
Oh, totally. She's like, oh my God, it's you guys. It's so cute.
She's like fangirling a little bit.
Definitely.
It's like me whenever I see a dog.
Oh.
The myth, the legend, dogs.
I can relate.
Dogs are the best.
No,
So, yeah.
that's like
Backstory.
amazing. I love that she's just so into academic. But she's like, I like that you said that she seems so bubbly, and so it makes a lot of sense that she would just want to be friends with, or just have friends and companionship.
Yeah, I think she's kind of, because she's never really had friends, because you can't really, she had to focus so much on her mission that she didn't really have time, or not just time, but like the headspace to focus on friendships and all of that. It's almost like she's never lost her, the capacity to marvel at things that you had as a kid. And it's almost like there's some, developmental thing that kind of stopped somewhere, and where she just marvels at everything and she's curious about everything. That stage of like kids asking why why all the time, wanting to know why, and being so intrigued by how things work. And I think that's an element that I wanted to put in Yasmine, and I hope that it shows. So yeah.
It
Oh,
absolutely
definitely.
did, because it makes you want to like take her in and be like, it's okay. We'll get
We
there.
call her a puppy dog.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would definitely say she's got the energy of a puppy.
I love her.
I love her too.
Well, that's good. All the sisters have a weapon of choice. What would Yasmine's be and why?
So I thought about that, and I think her weapon is her brains.
Yes.
I think that's what her weapon is. And I think if she had to get something physical, it would be a Home Alone type of thing, you know?
Booby trap an
Yeah.
entire mansion.
She's totally a
Yeah.
MacGyver, like a
Totally.
MacGyver Jr.
Exactly. I really think that's what she would do. But I think if we go forward, I think she would have to like learn how to physically defend herself in the moment, not necessarily.
Can we have those scenes, please?
Yes.
Just like the entire, like, Lilith, Camilla, Ava, Beatrice, just all trying to teach her, and then Ava's just, like, messing around. And
Exactly. I could definitely see
Teaching
that.
her the wrong things.
yeah, like, so that if you hit them this way, it hurts more.
This is how you get around Beatrice's training sessions.
Yeah, possibly. Think something.
Exactly. So, by far the most popular question when we put our little tweet out there was, what do you think Yasmine was thinking when she witnessed the Beatrice kiss?
I think, okay, I'm going to separate this into two because there's what was Yasmine thinking and what was Meena thinking. I'm going to start by me. I'm not that kind of person, but I will this time. I was crying.
Aw.
They're so good. I was like, I hope they're not filming my reaction right now because I'm not having the right reaction. I was like, tearing up and being like, oh my God. So yeah, I mean they're so good. It was just such a touching moment, such a beautiful moment that everybody's been waiting for. And it was just so beautiful and so bittersweet, and so they just blew me away in that moment. What was Yasmine thinking? I think she was both probably like, no, I wouldn't say shocked. I would say like surprised. But I think Yasmine is a very open-minded kind of person and character. I mean, the way you see she interacts with Camilla when she tells her like, "Hey, Todd is pretty hot," and she's like, "Yeah, girl." She's very much like, I'm rooting for you girls. And I think she's more like very touched by it. But at the same time, like, guys, there's a mission.
Right. Like, is now the time for this?
Yeah, I think it's more of I'm very confused. Like, this is not the time, but at the same time, I'm not like, what am I doing? What is this? And then kind of like the shock of like, or it's, I mean, I don't think I don't think Yasmine would feel it as take it as a betrayal from Ava, but as like, wait, she's not playing by the rules that we kind of established. Like, we're a team, we're supposed to all work together, and kind of like feeling, I think she also feels very much the anguish of Beatrice, because it's a moment where you're like, we don't know where she is, we don't know what's going on, we have to find out, and we have to find out very quickly. So right after, I think it's I go back, Yasmine goes back into thinking mode, like the cogs are like turning very quickly, like what's going on, how can we get to where we need to go. So that's how I take it. That was a
When
very long
we
one.
first talked about it, we thought that she'd be thinking, wait, we can do that?
I think she might be aware that it does happen.
I was like,
Yeah.
as soon as that scene happened, as soon as the initial, oh my gosh, they actually went ahead and kissed.
Yeah.
I was like, but wait a minute, somebody's standing there and they're just doing this whole thing. And it's like, okay, so this is going on, but at the same, I don't actually understand why are we doing this, but that's so awesome. It's
Yeah.
such a good scene. And the fact that she was just standing there makes it even better. So
Yeah. Yeah, no, I loved it, and I loved how it looked on. I mean, I loved when we filmed it, and the whole choreography when she tries to put the crown on her and she knows what's happening.
yes,
It looks
It's
like a dance move, and everything is flowy, and everything is beautiful, and the lighting and the photography is amazing, and the acting, and I'm just like, oh gosh, yes.
we were blessed with everyone that worked on that scene. So
Yeah, definitely.
So staying on theme with all of that, there's another scene where Yasmine is thrown into something and it's like, okay. So how hard was it to stay serious during the erotic pastry van scene?
It was quite hard. Like the first time we got those, I was like, wait, what?
These poor nuts.
whose idea was that?
Right, I know. You got that
Decided.
script.
But I think it works very well.
Oh yeah,
Oh, totally.
It's perfect.
There
I
needs
have to
be
say, they are
levity in this
delicious.
show.
Good to know.
If you ever go to Madrid, really do go there. I mean, if you're into donuts, very
Wait,
weirdly
it's a
shaped.
real thing?
It is a real thing. There is actually there's always a queue outside that store, outside that bakery.
That's
All
amazing.
the time. It's just packed all the time. People go there especially for that. So yes.
Well,
Well,
a
you
lot
guys
more
were
people.
lucky. You got to be in a whole truck full of
Right?
them. Bye, Kaitlynn. This
Oh,
happens.
Yeah, no
I
running
forgot
in
to
the
mention
truck.
I forgot to mention every half hour I go away.
Okay.
And instead of fixing it, we've just kind of adopted it as a meme.
Fair enough. Is it an interference from the arc or something like that?
Yes. Yeah,
I
every
think she
30
may have
minutes.
cracked the mystery.
They're
Every
gonna kill
30
me for
minutes.
this. Yes,
We're
the
gonna have-
space butthole gets in the way for everything.
God. When we were first watching season 2, my sister was with us, and she happens to have some very interesting comments, and so that's what she called the arc.
Okay.
And they told me I wasn't allowed to say it like that, and so I said it anyway.
Oh, that's brilliant. I mean, it kind of feels like it's technically not exactly.
Looks
but
like
it's
it, I guess, but whatever works. It was the funny Kaitlynn.
No, but it was great filming that scene. But I can't tell you how many I ate. Because
Oh my God.
you have to not just sometimes you watch a scene in a film or a TV show or whatever, and people are eating and eating a tiny bit of something and chewing it for an hour, and
Mm-hmm.
they were like, no, you've got to chomp that thing, you've got to go for it. And so I was like, yep, I'm gonna go for it. I'm not gonna eat beforehand.
I hope you didn't get sick, because that's a lot of
Yeah,
sweet.
right. Too much sugar.
Sugar rush, and it was a night shoot as well. So.
Oh
Yeah.
no!
Oh yeah, that's right.
I don't
Well,
know.
thank
if
you
I
for
could.
going for it.
Yeah,
The
thank you for
realism
going for
is
it, because it
better, I
was
agree.
Were
But
you
great scene.
worth it.
eating it like a corn on the cob?
We tried many different ways so that they
Oh,
could
okay.
it. We're like,
Because I believe there was a question asking if it was your choice or if it was written like that.
no, it was like, okay, what's going to be the funniest way? And we're like, in the end, we were just like, okay, let's try this way, and let's see whatever works in the edit. And same with when Sylvia, Mother Superior, chomps it. We're like, okay, let's try different ways and let's see what works. And this one definitely did work. She's great.
She
It was
is.
wonderful.
She is.
Love her.
So as we mentioned, you're the one of the best additions to the show.
Thank you.
What was the casting process like for you?
It was actually very fast and very smooth. I think it was,
It's good.
yeah,
Surprise. That's a
very
rarity.
because it was during COVID. I think we were in, I don't know if we were still in lockdown, but it was definitely during COVID. And so we were not doing like face-to-face auditions or anything. So I had a self-tape. I received the instructions and the breakdown. I did not receive, I don't think I received any of the episodes just yet. I just received the slides and the description of the character. And I read it and I was like, oh my gosh, I've got so much in common with her. That's crazy. And I was like, no, but like not everything. But it just felt super smooth. And I just, yeah, I did my best. I think I received the audition on a Wednesday or a Thursday. I filmed it with a friend on the Saturday. I sent it on the Monday morning. No, I sent it on, yeah, I think on Monday. It was for Monday. I sent it on the Sunday or the Monday, and I got cast on the Wednesday, and then I flew to
Wow.
Spain the next Wednesday, the Wednesday after. It was within 2 weeks I
Wow.
was cast, and I was just like, okay, this
That's
is
so fast.
Oh
it
man,
was
meant to
super
be.
fast. Yeah, so it was
That's
great.
crazy.
Well,
Yeah,
that just means it was obvious that you were the one.
hopefully, yeah. I mean, I think it
Obvious
worked. But yeah, no, it was super fast. And yeah, sometimes it does happen when it's super fast, but sometimes you spend weeks when you do like callback after callback, and then after like the third, fourth, fifth callback, you're like, oh, it's not going to go your way. And like, oh, okay, all right, next. But just like,
Process and next.
yeah, exactly. Forget about it.
Don't think about it. Move on. Well, if you had to play a different character, which one would you want to play?
This is such a hard question. I don't exactly know. I've wondered about it. I think I would love to play someone like Adriel.
I knew you were going to say
Yes!
that. For some
Oh, that would be
reason,
so
I knew
fun.
that. I was going to say Adriel. Gonna say it.
Over the top. It's so big. It's so like
It's theatrical.
exactly. You can really go for it, and it really like it makes sense. And yeah, I was like, that could be really fun. And those costumes. I mean,
Right.
not that like Yasmine didn't have fun costumes, but you know, wink, wink. Um, yeah, I think, yeah, or maybe Lilith. I was thinking, but
Also a good choice.
Totally.
yeah,
But
Good
so-
outfits.
Not that I don't love everybody else. I'm just saying, and it's not just because of the outfits and everything. Oh gosh, this is such a hot question. But yeah, those are my choices.
see, if you'd played Adriel, though, we would have had to like him a little bit, and
Right.
Yeah.
so I'm glad that didn't happen.
You think I can play a villain? Be hated?
No, I think you could play a villain, but here's the thing: like female villains that are so badass still inspire some kind of like, oh hell yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I agree. Yes.
It's easier to, not like a tall white dude, I guess.
I would probably pay attention to the scenes more.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying not to say, and then I
Yeah.
just let myself say it.
I mean, if it has to come out, it has to come out.
Well, I mean, the root of this whole thing is the gayness in this
Yes.
podcast. We're definitely going to be watching a badass female.
For sure. And I wonder what's going to come for the next season. I mean, not stepping
Yeah.
over, but we're all wondering, who is Rhea?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We
We are.
Do you have any theories on that? Since you brought it up?
Oh, man. I do have a ton of theories, but I think like most of them are like probably not good at all.
She's got the crack theories.
I really think that like it's got something to do with just like parallel universes and just like universes. Is that a word?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally.
Um, I think it's like I don't know. I've gone to like Matrix style stuff where they need like prayers or thoughts or focus to I don't know, fuel their world,
Mm-hmm.
or it's
Hmm.
something that's completely different, that's got like nothing to do with our world, but because there is a way, a portal, or a way of going into our world, they could like I don't know, he's a renegade, like Adriel's a renegade, and he managed to like escape and come here and just be like, hey, I was like the weakling back there, and now I'm like the most powerful being there is here. I mean, there are so many different theories, and I wonder like whether Rhea actually gives a, can we swear here?
Oh yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Whether Rhea and anybody else in that realm actually really gives a shit about our world, whether it's
Yeah.
just like a little thing on the side and it's just like, yeah, those guys are so far behind us that we don't really bother with them. But somebody just, I mean, yeah, so many theories, so many ways this could go. I'm very
I really
curious.
like your theory about the using the
Yeah.
prayers and thoughts. What if they start subjugating humans from the other
Yeah.
dimension?
But what if they have been for
Oh,
millennia?
hey,
This whole
I mean,
time,
what
yeah.
if
technically,
they have been?
you know.
Oh, blame. I love it. Oh my gosh. All right, I gotta calm down. Whew.
Okay, so we'll switch gears so everyone calms down. All right, so what was it like to come into a show that is already established and like everybody kind of already knew each other? Like, what was that like?
um, I was very anxious at first, I have to say. I was like, my gosh, those guys have like worked together. I mean, it was a while ago as well, and they've stayed in touch and they all know each other and they've probably become friends. And you're here and nobody, and what's going on? And also, like, it was super weird because we were like, when we arrived, we were all in a hotel and we had to quarantine. So yeah, we were quarantining in a hotel, I think for eight. I don't know if it was 8 days, 10 days, something like that. And I knew that Christina was in the room opposite mine because at one point, they were bringing us meals and everything because we could not leave at all. And then we opened like the door at the same time. We're like, "Hi, hi, hi," and like, "Okay, well, I'll see you in a few days, I guess." Like, I want to talk to people, not just through Zoom. And
Couldn't you just like open the doors and sit in like the doorway? Isn't it like far enough away?
I mean, it was like I don't know, maybe 1.5 meters, which is I don't know how many feet. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Theora,
you're
would
okay.
it be okay for them to sit in the doorway and talk?
Don't
No,
know.
it's like 3 feet.
Theora is a infectious disease
Oh, expert.
pharmacist.
Yeah,
Yes,
but it was
actually.
like very frustrating, and at the same time, I like you do the Zoom. We did the table reads through Zoom, so you see everyone, and you know that they're literally next door, or like when you open your window, you can see the other person at their like little balcony or something, but you can't really like hang out or get to know people or anything, and so it kind of like fed the anxiety even more for me.
Aw.
But we had to be tested as well, obviously, like, COVID and everything. So every 2 days we had to get tested and we had to go downstairs. And at one point, I bumped into Olivia, I think on the last day of quarantine. I don't know if it was the last day or like the day before last or something like that. Um, and then she was like, "Hey, do you want to grab a coffee?" And I was like, "Yes." Very much like Yasmine.
Yes, no,
Not
it's like
even
literally the
Camilla.
character.
Exactly. And we just like went for a coffee and like I met Christina, and then we just like through them I met all the others very quickly, and we just clicked so fast. It was just everybody's so lovely. I mean, like hands down, it's been the best shoot of my life because of the people, because everybody's so nice. cast, crew, production team, stunt team, everyone. It was just a dream, really, very much so. And I think it shows through the show that we've done, I think. Yay.
It's always so great to hear that people actually like the show.
Yes. Yeah, I very much did. I very much did. Because, yeah, for them, I hadn't seen it before I got the audition. I have to say, like, when I got the audition, I was like, what is this warrior nun? Like, what? I think that's probably the reaction of a lot of people. And
Yeah.
and I always like to prepare for auditions. I always watch a couple of episodes from, if it's for an existing show, to, you know, get the tone and everything. And I was like, okay, I'll just watch the first episode, maybe the second if I've got the time, and then the last episode to know what's going on. And then I'll do my audition. I'll start preparing. And I started watching the first episode, and the second, and the third, and the fourth, and the fifth, and I just couldn't stop. And I binged the whole thing in one day. I was like, oh my gosh, I really want to be in this.
Aw,
It was just
that's
so
so
good.
great.
Yeah, I just loved it. I just loved it. So yeah, it was an amazing gift. Thank you, life.
Oh, I'm so glad that you got it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you better? Are you a better driver than your character in real life?
I think so. I think so. I've never had any problems driving. Then again, I've never been in a car chase either, so I really don't know.
It's true.
Sure.
Guess we don't really know for sure.
Do we need to replicate the car chase just to see?
Oh no, please!
I'd rather not. But no, I'm shooting something right now, and I am supposed to drive like a very cool car, and the stunt supervisor was telling me like, oh, you're gonna have to like drive a bit of a nervous driver, kind of like a sporty driver, basically. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm a very chill driver. I've never had any tickets, speeding, whatever. I don't do that. I'm very respectful of the laws and all of that. And he was like, okay, so we're going to do like a couple of things where you have to like slalom between like, little orange triangle thingies. I don't know how you call them. And, like accelerate and then, brake at the last minute. And then he puts like those like little things that I have to like brake and arrive at less than like 20 centimeters or like less than a
Wow.
foot away. And I'm
I
like,
feel like stunts should be doing this.
I know. I was like, come on, should we? I mean, we do have a stunt driver as well, who's doing like the big stunts. But I've been like doing a couple of those things, and I'm like, yeah, I can do that. I wouldn't do that every day, but I can.
But do you scream your head off like Yasmine does?
I don't scream, but internally I do scream. I'm like, and that was the training. So when you have to do it and you've got cameras and crew everywhere, I'm just like, guys, I'm backing up. Give me a perimeter of like 5 meters, please. Oh gosh. Yeah, I'm an all right driver, but I'm not, I'm not a stunt driver. Absolutely not.
That sounds
So really,
nerve-wracking.
what you're filming now is just preparing you for season 3
Exactly.
when Yasmine
Well,
drives
I
again.
want to do the drive. I'd rather not.
Well, hopefully she'll just drive something other than an exotic pastry van. But
We'll
Yeah,
see.
exactly. Yeah. Give me an automatic, please.
there you go. See, requests. Put that request in.
Exactly.
Oh, maybe she could drive a Zamboni. I don't know how they're going to fit that in, but I vote for that. It's
Oh,
a
the
thing
thing
that
the ice
makes-
that flattens ice.
Like
ice
what
rinks.
at skating rinks and whatnot, they have this big machine that comes around and smooths the
Right.
ice.
I see. Okay, I had no idea what you were talking
Very
about.
slow.
Okay, yeah, maybe. Definitely not in a contest.
There's no chasing.
Imagine that. The slowest car chase ever.
It's just like Yasmine's having a dream. Like, I can't do it fast, but maybe we can start out slow.
Exactly. First step. Driving 101.
Pretty sure you could overtake the Zamboni on foot. So
I'm sorry, it was the first thing that came to my head.
I love it. That's what we do here, chaos and randomness. But speaking of season 3, what would you want to happen for Yasmine?
Well, I think for Yasmine, it's like I think her arc definitely in season 2, sorry, is that she discovers what it is to be part of a group of friends, and also like gains more confidence, because the only confidence she's got is in her brains, but not in her social skills, not in her physical skills, none of that. And I would love to see more of that, like really gaining confidence in herself as like a whole, and not just relying on one part of herself, and realizing that she is capable. And yeah, but I still want her enthusiasm and all of that. I think that will never go, but it's, yeah, seeing her grow even more into herself. So yeah, I would love to see that. And I would love to like explore her backstory a bit more and see her develop, learn how to fight, because I would love to do some more stunts. I would love to.
We want to see that because
Yeah.
the fights on the show are so good.
Yes.
Yeah. And definitely our trio, Mother Superior, Camilla, and Yasmine. I want to see that more.
Yes.
Yes, it's so good.
They have
I
fun
also would
dynamics.
kind of like to see Yasmine and Ava have a conversation, because
Yeah.
seeing
Yeah.
as Yasmine's social, like you're saying, her social limitations, or the limitation of her socialization, because Ava had the same thing, being
Yeah.
paralyzed, and I think that would be an interesting conversation.
Yeah. And I think it's almost like, I don't know, like the whole thing about like meeting Santa Claus, but it's not even just that. I think it's like meeting your biggest rock star idol,
Right.
but meeting them with their group of friends and being so shy that you wouldn't really talk to them, but you start being friends with their friends, but you can't really talk to the rock star themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's how I see it with Yasmine and Ava, kind of like, yeah, okay. I mean,
She's
they're
starstruck.
more attainable, but yeah, exactly. I think there's like an element of idolizing that I think she had as well with the Pope, which
Yeah.
was an interesting thing to play for me. But yeah, I mean, that's another. But yeah, I would love to have that develop more, like really belong, not just, you know, yeah, that her confidence would not just be because she can bring something, but just she can be herself and be accepted as she is, and not just because she's useful. So yeah.
I think the OCS is a good place for her.
Yeah, I think so. I think she's in good hands.
Yes. Well, hopefully we get all of that and more, because that would be super fun. So we noticed that you did a few episodes of Game of Thrones, and we're curious how that experience compared to your experience as Yasmine on Warrior Nun.
I mean, it's it was very different, but at the same time, there was one thing that was absolutely there in common, is that stunned people are the funniest people on set. No, it was very different, because for Game of Thrones, I just did 3 episodes. I mean, that was like, I loved the role. I think it was a very interesting role, and it was also my first TV, which was a bit like you're thrown into the deep end right away.
Wow.
Like, hey, swim now. But it was different in the way that I arrived in season 5 in Game of Thrones, and also my scenes were pretty isolated from, like, it wasn't like big groups, and all of that. So I didn't really meet a lot of the cast, or like I didn't meet the crew, but I mean, it's such a huge machine, even though like everybody was so friendly and it felt like it was a family. When I arrived, I was like, okay, you guys have worked together for 5 years and it shows. You really do get along, you know each other so well. But I was there just like 1 week at a time, so it felt like I didn't really have the time to really develop any kind of strong connections. I developed strong connections with a couple of people, but not the way that I did in Mori and None. And that kind of trust that you have in your scene partners, your colleagues, who are now your friends, is something that takes time. Even though like the friendship is there, but like you've never worked with those people, and then you just come in, you play, you do your scene, and then you say goodbye, and you're never really going to see that person again. It's not the same thing as like working with people for like 5 months, or like training with them, because the first month for Warrior Nun, we're training every day, every day. And you get to know people in a very different way than just being on set and having like, just a little bit of time to rehearse, and you just have to shoot everything, and you're just like, okay, this is my first role. I really need to like not fuck it up. Don't fuck it up, Meena. Do you remember your lines? Yeah, you okay. But yeah, it was very different. But at the same time, it was really fun. I mean, both were really fun. It's just that Warrior Nun lasted a lot more, a lot longer for me.
Yeah.
And so you have the time to really develop things with people. And yeah, that was what made it for me, like, yeah, the best thing ever. I cannot wait for season 3. Please announce it soon.
I know. But that's fun. That's two very unique and amazing experiences. So
Yeah.
thank you for sharing
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
Yes, season 3 needs to happen now.
Please. Please. When? Does anybody know when? Please tell me. Gosh.
Yeah, it's about 26 days from now, unfortunately.
26 days from now.
Don't listen to me. My brain is weird. Okay, anyway.
You'll hear us screaming when it gets renewed, so don't worry. Like, you'll just hear screaming. Yeah. And you're like, what is happening?
You're like,
oh!
The fandom found out, yes.
Just get my habit out of the closet. It's time to go.
Yep. Get your habit ready, dust it off.
Let's go.
I've been training.
Get back in the habit of training.
Exactly.
Hilarious. Well done, a habit joke.
Very good fun. That was so fun.
Okay. Which, this show is really good at puns as well. And I will never forget the nunchuck pun in season 1 with Sister Crimson.
I love puns. Puns are my favorite form of humor. So yeah.
You would love Bree.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Puns and dad jokes, that's me.
Nothing can beat a pun or a dad joke, really.
Thank you. It's kind of like Ava's sense of humor as well, so that's why I always identify with her.
No, she is. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, it's very much like I would say like Ava's got a very punny humor, and I think Camilla and I have a very situational humor.
Yes.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, the times where she brings the comedy with the she shows up with a machine gun. It's like, hope I got God's message right.
Exactly, she's not doing things halfway at all.
No.
Discretion? I can do discretion.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you were thinking blindfold? No.
I remember laughing out loud just reading this off the script. I was like, this is gonna be good.
I couldn't imagine what they'll put you guys through next season.
Oh,
humor-wise.
But I'm happy that they did.
Yeah, we're manifesting.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
it was good. It was good. I mean, the training for me was the hardest because we were coming out of lockdown, like a year and a half of literally being at home. I tried to work out at first and do like yoga every day. And then very quickly I was like, you know what? I'm just going to play video games and that's it.
Wait a minute, you play video games?
I
Uh
do.
oh. You're in my world now. What do you play?
Well, during lockdown, I played Breath of the Wild.
Love it.
Yes, and I'm a completionist kind of person as well.
You
And
have
so it
to.
took a long time. And then recently I've been playing, I played like, I mean, I have to say, I don't play as much as some of my friends who play a lot more, but I've played Horizon. I'm in the middle of the second Horizon, which I've put on standby because I'm shooting right
Right.
now. And I cannot wait to go back and
How
finish.
hard is that? Were you just like, I can't play right now?
Yes. Sometimes
Sometimes
I'm,
I.
oh, I need to chill and oh, what could I do? Read a book. Oh, I wish I had my PlayStation with me. Oh well. Oh well, you know. But yeah, no,
Especially Horizon, because those are such good games.
it's so good. It's so good. I've just started the second one. I haven't finished it just yet. I finished like Ghost of Tsushima as well, like recently,
Mm,
which I found beautiful.
it
But
is
I couldn't
beautiful.
wait to like go to Horizon 2. So yeah, that's gonna be the sorry. Little
Yeah, sorry.
No,
That was my bad.
back
no, no, no.
I have a question for Theora. Do you know anything that they just said?
No, but I'm living for the enthusiasm.
Me too.
Sorry, we devolved into gamer nerd corner.
No, that's perfectly fine. You can
Yeah.
record yourself after the shoot is over with.
Yes.
So, speaking about more of you personally, we
Mm.
noticed on your spotlight profile that you speak. Damn it!
Bye,
Really?
Kaitlynn.
In the middle of my
Bye,
question?
This is why we leave it in. The arc has spoken.
That's forever going to be the reason behind it. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Space bow.
We found
Okay, I'm gonna try and actually get this question out now.
let's do it.
Take two.
Actually, this will take like 5. I'm
I
trying.
know.
We noticed on your spotlight profile that you speak Moroccan, as well
Mhm.
as some other languages and dialects. So, do you like to learn new languages? Like, did you have to learn these for acting or?
No, I love languages. That's one of my passions. I speak multiple languages. English is actually my second language. I spoke my first language. My mother tongue is French. So I was born in Paris. I grew up in France, and I moved to the UK just after drama school in France. But I learned English on my own when I was a kid. I just wanted to be able to translate my favorite songs.
Aw,
That's so cute.
To understand what I was singing, because otherwise I was just singing like we call it yogurt, like singing yogurt in French, chanter du yaourt. So when you're like, I don't know what kind of song obviously now I'm going to forget all the songs that exist. But when you're doing
In the
like,
world, yeah.
that kind of stuff, that's singing yogurt when you don't know the lyrics.
That's
I was like,
amazing.
Oh, yeah.
exactly. So that's the French saying. And yeah, I just wanted to learn and I just started learning on my own. And then I started like, reading Harry Potter in English with like my little notebook and my little dictionary. And every time I encountered the word that I didn't know, I would write it down with the translation. Like literally I remember where in the page I learned which word. Like I remember like, agape. It had something to do with like Dumbledore. And it was like on like the right hand side on like I'm not going to get into detail, but it's crazy. Like it really stayed with me. Or like
Amazing.
eager. I remember like eager was a word that I learned with like the first Harry Potter. And that's how I learned that word, just like because it kept coming back, and I was like, okay, I remember writing down that word. And so yeah, and I also like at school I chose to learn German. So German I kind of understand, but I cannot speak it. I haven't practiced enough at all. And I never really learned Spanish until I went to Spain for the shoot for Warrior Nun, and then I just cracked up the Duolingo and like all the stuff that I would love to watch, and that I've watched a million times before, and I just watch them in the language that I want to learn. So like my go-to is Avatar: The Last Airbender. I've watched it like, I don't know how many times. And I just watch it in different languages every time I want to learn a new language.
That's amazing. What a
Yeah.
tool.
That's a great tactic.
Thoughts.
It is.
And yeah, Moroccan, my dad is Moroccan. And so I grew up kind of like knowing the language because my dad would speak it, although we mostly spoke French at home. And so my Moroccan can be a bit, rusty sometimes. Like usually like if I go back to see the family or stuff like that, it would take me like a good week to be able to actually like go back.
So are they still in Morocco?
Yeah, part of my family is still in Morocco, yeah.
I've been told that the language is very hard to learn if you don't like learn it there and from somebody who's Moroccan.
I would say for Arabic, it's very weird because you've got like Arabic is not like one language. It's not because you've got an Arab country that they speak the same language. And Moroccan is going to be very different from Egyptian. It's going to be very different from Syrian. It's going to be very different from, I don't know, like Saudi. But they do have a base in common. And one thing that they have in common is classical Arabic that is never spoken, but only like it's if you want to read like literature, like I don't know, The Little Prince, for example, it's going to be written in classical Arabic, not in the dialect of each country. Or like news anchors, for example, if you watch the news, most of the time they're going to be speaking in classical Arabic and be understood by everybody. But then each dialect has its very own specificities, and Moroccan is it's very specific. It's quite far away from like classical Arabic or like Middle Eastern Arabic, or so it's very contracted. And it's best to go there if you want to learn it. It is very specific, but it's very interesting. I mean, yeah. And I'm learning also like Middle Eastern Arabic because I do get cast a lot as Middle Eastern, or and I if I have to speak it, I have to be able to change
Right.
one dialect to another, and it can be very, very specific sometimes. It's not just an accent, it's very much a dialect. So yeah, but I'm fascinated by languages because I just find it so interesting. Like I always wonder like what shapes what. Like does the culture shape the language, or the language shape the culture? Like the differences between French and English I'm fascinated by. Or like I've learned Japanese for a while because I'm a big fan of like mangas and stuff like that. So I started learning Japanese on my own as well when I was a kid. And yeah, like the grammar, the structure is so different from like a Latin structure. But it's also like it seems like more complicated, but actually I find that the grammar in Japanese is much simpler. But at the same time, the whole system of writing, like you've got 3 alphabets basically. I mean, I don't know if you're familiar, but yeah, I mean, I'm gonna get lost in this, so maybe let's.
No, this is okay.
See, this is one of the things that I've got in common with Yasmine. I geek out on stuff like
No, that's
crazy.
good.
No, like we're totally.
It's great.
This is probably my favorite part of the interview.
Sorry,
Because I'm fascinated with languages too. So I'm with you 100%.
Yeah, no, but I just find it fascinating. But I do get like sucked into topics, and then I just want to know everything about it.
Hyper focus on the one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's me.
same.
Yeah.
That's why I learned Swedish pretty much.
Oh wow, that's brilliant. Oh wow.
It's one of the easiest languages for native English speakers to.
Yeah, because they do have like
learn.
the whole Saxon bases, or like it's a pretty much Saxon Germanic language.
It
Yeah,
is. It's the same structure, German, Swedish.
Yeah, and a lot of like actual words in common, or like
Exactly.
thoughts in common. Mm.
She likes to speak it to us and pretend like we can understand her.
That's pretty
Hey, I
cool.
spoke French to you the other day.
You do speak
Not that
French?
no, like, okay, listen, I took 4 years of
Wait,
French.
shall we continue this interview in French?
I took 4 years of French and 3 years of Spanish, and now they're like commingled,
Oh,
and
yeah.
so I have a hard time even remembering.
They are so close. I mean, French, Spanish, Italian, Portuguese, Romanian. Although I always say like that's like talking about it with some friends who are Spanish or Italian or Portuguese. It's always like Spanish, Italian, and Portuguese are like, let's say, half brothers, and French is like the weird cousin that you see every like 2 years.
The weird cousin in the corner that's like eating a cheese tray.
With the cheese tray is the accurate part.
Weirdly specific.
I had some weird cheeses in France.
Delicious. Are you going to
Me
talk
too.
about French cheeses?
They are
Careful.
delicious.
I
I
second
love
nothing.
cheese so much.
Yeah, some cheeses can be weird, but they're all delicious.
It just tasted like cows on a farm.
What?
That's you know, like that smell. That's what it tasted.
We won't describe it further. But
No.
You know, they never know what's going to come out of my mouth.
But you know what kind of strikes me now that we're talking about languages is like, so you know multiple languages, Alba knows multiple languages, Christina knows. What the heck is up with this cast?
I know. And not just that, Sylvia speaks perfect French as well.
Oh my
Not
gosh.
surprised.
Joaquin, who plays the Pope, Francesco Duretti, he speaks amazing French. He speaks amazing. He speaks Portuguese. Obviously, he's Portuguese. He speaks great Spanish. He speaks great Italian. William, who plays Adriel, speaks also like English, Spanish. I mean, everybody speaks like a ton of like.
Multilingual cast.
I don't know. Maybe it was what needed to be on your CV if you want to be cast in Warrior.
Right?
I don't
feel
know.
like it was part of HR screening. They're like, if it's one language, just burn this. You need to speak at least 3.
Burn this.
Burn it. Burn it shut.
HR wasn't messing around, okay? They had nuns to find.
Undercover tactical nuns.
Undercover tactical nuns must
Exactly.
be multilingual.
Multilingual.
I can't, I'm going to die.
It's the secret requirement that no one knows. You just unlock it once you.
It's the secret level in a game.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know if that actually
I love it.
exists.
But listen, Meena had the cheat code, so. Oh my gosh, I don't even know where we are now.
Well, it's you.
Okay, it's me, because we also saw that you have puppetry on your resume. So can you tell us about your experience with that?
Yeah, I did that the first time I was kind of really introduced to something that had to do with puppetry professionally. I did a play, gosh, 10 years ago now. And we had to do so I didn't know puppetry. I did know like the basics of like rod puppets. But it was a very ambitious play. Didn't do that well, I think. But
Aw.
we did it was like we had physical theater, dancing. It was like a classical text, and we did shadow puppets, rod puppets, and like big puppets as well, like kind of not to the extent of, Warhorse or Life of Pi, not that kind of thing, but like still big enough to be, almost human size. And so we had like, I think 4 months of rehearsal, learning how to do all of those things actually. Dancing, physical theater, puppetry, all of those things. And I did mainly rod puppets and shadow puppets. And it was very interesting. It was really cool. And I loved like the people and everything. And I'm in touch with like quite a few of the cast. But yeah, it was an interesting thing that I haven't had the chance to do again since then. But I wouldn't
It's
say no.
difficult,
It is super hard. And like the
especially
whole
with
thing
the
of,
rot things.
yeah, when you have to like literally just look at your puppet, not like anywhere else, like you're interacting with someone else, but you still have to like look at your puppet. Your focus is very different. It's like using a different part of your brain somehow. Yeah.
Sounds like a video game.
Yeah, yeah, indeed. Like using your hands without.
Yeah, it's like I work in surgery, and that's kind of what we always compare it to when you're doing like a laparoscopic type surgery, where you've got the picture on the screen and you're doing instruments and you're watching up there.
Oh,
So
yeah.
everything's kind of turned around backwards. So it
Yeah,
is like a video game, and I can see puppetry being very similar to,
yeah, yeah,
because that's
yeah.
how I was processing it as you were talking.
Yeah, it's not as intuitive as you would think. It takes a little bit of time to like get your body used to the weirdness of it.
The hand-eye coordination has to
Exactly.
like go through a different process.
Don't know how
Absolutely.
Yasmine would do at that. I don't think.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my
Yes,
gosh. There'd be lots of
please have
screaming.
Yasmine and
So much
puppets.
screaming.
I would love that.
I can see her having so much fun, and then when she didn't have to be there, she would sneak in and just like practice for fun.
See, I feel like Camilla and Yasmin would do a puppet show to create a
They would.
diversion.
They
They
would.
would. This is canon.
Oh my gosh.
And Mother Superior's like, well, if you're gonna do it
Goddamn
right.
kids.
Yeah. Don't stay out too late. Training in puppetry tomorrow.
Okay. I'm gonna, yeah.
So, I am just fascinated by you because every single time that I just learn more about you, you just get so impressive. We saw that you trained in Vietnamese martial arts and even have a black belt. I believe you trained for 11 years, maybe?
Yeah, I did. Oh my gosh. Where did you find all this?
Yes,
It's
every
Kaitlynn.
interview I get asked that.
Kaitlynn will find everything.
Oh gosh.
Everything.
Okay.
The answer is I don't remember because I looked at so many things.
Yeah, I
But-
did. I trained in Vo Việt Nam Viet Vo Dao, which is, yeah, Vietnamese martial arts. And I started quite young, around, I think, 6 or 7. And I just love it. And I got to like black belt level, and then I had to stop everything because I went to uni, or the equivalent in France, like a school, anyways. And yeah, and then when I moved to London, I started like doing, trying to like train. I couldn't find a club of Viet Vo Dao, or like Vo Việt Nam, that because it's a specific school, a branch of Viet Vo Dao. And yeah, I just love it. I love martial arts. And I was like, I've always been like a big fan of, martial arts movies and stuff like that, like combat movies when I was a kid. But also like just martial arts. Like I've done like boxing or like just self-defense kind of stuff. And it's not exactly the same. I mean, total respect for people who do that. It's just not necessarily my thing. I just love the whole like philosophy that there is behind it as well. And like,
The
it was,
artistry.
yeah, the artistry. Yeah, exactly. Because there is like in Vo Việt Nam, you do have like a lot of, the equivalent of the katas that you have in karate. So, which are called the quins. And so you've got like basically choreographies, which are like short forms, and then you've got long form choreographies, and then you've got like choreographies that you do together, like combat choreographies together, and then you've got like wrestling, and then you've got freestyle combat as well, which I just got like one of my teeth chipped when I was a kid.
No.
Well, yeah, always wear your mouth guard, guys. Always.
I mean, but even if you are like protected, things still I got knocked out in
Yeah.
karate when I was little.
Yeah.
I woke up to my mom laughing her butt off.
Oh no. Oh my gosh. I bet it didn't happen again. Or probably did.
I don't remember. All the other parents were concerned, but she's like, she's fine.
Yeah, it's just another lesson. It's fine. But yeah, I just love like martial arts. And yeah, I've started Taekwondo not long ago because I was like,
Oh.
you know,
Hmm.
maybe. But yeah, and I love sports as well, even though like when I was a kid, like martial arts was one thing, but like any kind of like team sports and everything, I was like absolutely terrible at, like sports at school. Not my thing. I was more into maths. But yeah. But yeah,
That's
it was, yeah. But I just love it, and I absolutely love the stunt training as well because I've done like a bit of stunt training in like combat choreography or like stage combat and stuff like that because obviously it's completely different because you actually don't
Mm-hmm.
touch people. But it's super cool as well, and it looks amazing, especially in Warrior Nun season 2, guys. Check it out. But the stunts look amazing. I mean, the stunt team was so
Yes.
good and so fun. And I mean, their work, like some of those fights, I was just like, I mean, I'm probably going to spoil, but I've been spoiling from the beginning anyways. But like the church fight, I watched it because obviously I watched it like as soon as it came out, even though I was like, I'm on set and I'm like, I'm shooting something. But I was still watching it. I watched the church fight and then I just like rewinded and like watched it again. I was just like, this is so good. I love it. This is my favorite fight. But yeah. Anyways, I've just like been digressing.
no, like Christina
Digressed
mentioned
away.
that.
Yeah.
Christina mentioned that fight as well as her favorite. So
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
totally
Yeah.
feel you.
He's gorgeous.
It was. And the other one that's my favorite is Lilith's
Yeah.
Yes.
fight in
That was crazy.
season 1.
Yeah. It's super cool. I
Woo!
mean, Lilith has become like, I mean, she was super cool, but like she's,
Extra.
Elevated.
yeah,
Yep.
proper
Yep.
badass.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We need Yasmine to fight more in season 3.
Yes.
So I can try and show off some of my skills.
Yeah, you got
Yes.
skills.
Yes.
But any less.
See, you no wonder you got this job so quickly with
That's
all
right.
of this on your
HR knows. They
resume.
know.
I want you to do a
Yeah.
monologue in like 5 different languages and then punch it, like do a whole fight sequence.
Then a fight sequence.
and
Yeah.
knock somebody out.
Yes.
Boom. Season 3. That's how it opens.
Oh, and
No
then,
Utilization.
explanation.
Yeah.
but all while you're doing a puppet, like the puppet's talking.
Well, it
I'm
starts with the
driving.
puppet distraction.
What do you
I'm driving.
I'll try.
No, what if you, while driving a hoverboard, like you're just like going.
in Raya's realm?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. I kind of want to see it in a golf cart.
Oh gosh.
I can only imagine. Yeah, we're just gonna like, okay, this is what we need to see in season 3. Send to Simon.
Make
Yeah,
it make sense,
no.
right? Doesn't matter.
I mean, you would have to have some sort of like very convoluted plot to make that happen, but you know.
Hey,
It's a dream.
you can make
things have
anything
happened.
happen with a dream sequence.
Right, it's a dream.
True, true.
Oh, that was weird. What a weird summer.
Or a psychedelic experience.
Either way,
For the next
Yasmine on
pastry van.
shrooms. What?
I mean, I've already got tranquilizer darts, but
Yeah. See, it would totally come. It would totally come from Camilla.
Yes.
You got the mix wrong on the tranquilizer.
Or Yasmine is just creating a video game, and she's just like acting out everything she wants to happen.
She's also a video game developer. That Yasmine is just got her hands in everything.
you know, she just like created a video game that's how they are funding the Coptic
Yeah.
nun all the time.
Thank you.
The money has to
There
come from
you
somewhere.
go.
Exactly.
Since they're not known to the church.
Yeah, you know, you've got to keep some secrets. And we're very, very good at keeping secrets.
I'm glad that
Exactly.
you let that secret out about how
Thanks.
the Coptic order is funded. So now we all know. But
Oh,
it's time for the classic for this podcast, would you rather? We do this with everyone.
Okay.
And the very first question is one that we always throw at people because it always gets a response. So the first one is, would you rather get the sex talk from Ava or Beatrice?
Me, Meena, or me, Yasmine?
Yasmine. Well, both. Let's do both.
No.
Does the answer change?
Yeah.
From Ava or from... Okay. I think Ava. I think it would be fun.
Yeah.
And very punny.
Yes. Yes, it would. Absolutely.
As fun
I
as
don't
can be.
I don't think either of these characters
Beatrice
have,
would
like...
whip out a science book.
Yes.
Probably.
I'd be like, listen, read chapter 14.
Anatomy and
The quizzes
physiology.
later.
Here you go.
Yeah.
This is how...
Oh, actually, I'm not really sure I'm interested in that sex thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. Oh, I love it.
All right.
Absolutely.
So good answer. So on that theme, because we're here to just make you laugh. So would you or Yasmine, however you want to answer this, rather make erotic pastries or be a nun in real life as like your career options?
Erotic
Yes, this is
pastries.
Apparently they're very popular.
Yeah.
I love it.
Nice.
Would you
Insane.
rather fight a room full of Adriel's cultists or OCS nuns?
Oh, that's hard. Would you rather OCS cultist or anxiety? OCS cultist?
Just everyone? You want to fight everyone?
Everyone!
Take them all on.
The Adriel cultists.
Okay, fair enough.
Good answer.
I mean, same. I think the nuns would be better at
Murdering
beating
you.
you up.
My
I
ass.
don't- Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
All right, so this one's less anxiety inducing, I hope. So, would you rather ride in a car with Yasmine driving or fly with Ava using her halo powers?
Fly with Ava right away.
Good answer.
But they tend to go out like...
I know. Maybe I'll just, pack a chute with me.
The next one is something that my very tired brain came up with at a stupid hour. So forgive me.
At a stupid hour is like 9 o'clock.
Okay, I get up at 4. What do you want from me?
Now, me too at the moment. I get up at 4 or 5 almost every day at the moment. I'm in bed at 8 p.m., guys, usually.
Thank you. I keep grandma hours.
Yes.
Nana needs her sleep, all right?
I get ya.
So it's, would you rather eat 1 pound of old durian or 1 pound of live slugs?
What is old durian? Sorry.
So it's like durian fruit. Are you familiar?
Oh, yeah. The stinky fruit.
Yeah. So it'd be like really old durian that's been sitting around.
So even stinkier.
Yeah.
Okay. Or what was the other option?
1 pound of live slugs.
Oh, gosh. What, the durian? That's live. Oh. No.
It's a hard question for me because smell is such a
Strong
problem.
thing. Oh,
But then
right.
texture.
I mean, I've never had durian ever, so maybe I've shot myself in the foot there. I don't know.
It's supposed to taste good. It just smells bad.
No, because of the way that the
texture?
smell adds to your olfactory, like adds to the eating process. For me, it was like eating a fart. But it's like a normal, nice one.
Just don't breathe.
Damn it, Kaitlynn.
Okay, I'll try that next time, Kaitlynn. I think your camera cut you off at a perfect time.
Excuse me.
Or you could say,
How
Ava's
rude.
excuse the fuck out of me. Ava's line.
Well, that concludes our Would You Rather section. Thank you, Meena, for playing along with sleep deprived questions. We appreciate you. You're a good sport.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been really fun.
Good. But before we wrap up, because those are our questions, we just wanted to see if you had any final words for our listeners that are tuning in at home today.
Well, a huge thank you for making this like one of the top shows and for being such an amazing fan base. I've never seen this before. Like, it's not only like are people really into this, but they're so nice and kind and fun. And, you know, it's not like sometimes it can be a bit aggressive from like other fan bases. Let's say, I'm not going to name anything, but this is just like, gosh, I'm just so happy for like being part of this, and you guys are fantastic. So thank you so much. And I think we're all crossing everything to get a third season, because I mean, just as like an audience member myself, oh my gosh, what a pleasure it was to watch season 2. So I really, really hope that we can get season 3 and just make people happy and cry a little bit as well, because I don't know about you guys, but I cried so much during season 2. But yeah, so thank you, a huge thank you to everyone.
And
Thank you.
Thank you for
Exactly.
giving us our favorite new character of season 2 and for talking to us today. This has been an absolute pleasure, and we really appreciate it. And to everyone listening at home, please make sure to check out Warrior Nun season 2 if you haven't already, which you should have if you're watching this, but do it again anyway.
Yes.
And be sure to follow Meena at Meena Rayann, and we will see you guys next time.
Yay! Thank you. Bye-bye.
And with that, we've been Big Gay Energy. If you like this episode, check out all of our other episodes right here on YouTube. Please like, leave a comment below, and subscribe for more amazing and super gay content.
Until next time, stay safe and hydrate for lesbian Jesus.